I'm live now. Oh, I'm hoping that this is working. Hi, everybody. I'm Skip Alzheimer. I do a lunchtime streaming thing, AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show, and things look different if you've been following us since mid-March. I'm in a different location, and let me see if I can do this without breaking anything. I'm at the beach. I would show you the beach, but I don't really have easy access to the internet that way. And I would say that the internet is probably very dodgy here. And I'm using my laptop instead of my normal equipment. So everything's going to be crazy wacky. Yeah, so my wife is the beach person. Katrina, you want to come over here and say hi? Some of you remember her from the birthday. She's the person that likes the beach. I can take a couple of days of it, and then I start getting bored. But the opportunity to sleep in another bed. There's Katrina. Katrina. Anyways, the opportunity to sleep in another bed and then to go into the ocean is really. I'm looking forward to it. Hasn't happened yet. And we also have a tropical depression forming not too far from us. So cheers, everybody. The internet here is kind of spotty. We're going to try this. And if I get enough negative comments, people say like, yeah, you keep dropping out or whatever, then I've got a show tomorrow that is pre-planned. So we'll see how this works. So anyways. First film we're going to watch is a wonderful film. We watch old 16mm films, in case you don't know. The first film we're going to watch is Curious Habits of Man, which is a wonderful Canadian film that's about drinking, I think. All right. Here we go. Curious Habits of Man. Enjoy.
No. You get more. Oh, you lost the scissors, eh, young fella?
May I introduce Jay, Lauren Nelson, Judy, Mr. Bullard.
All right,
Jay,
glad to meet you.
Bullard.
Thank you very much for the drink. That's very nice of you.
Oh, you're very welcome, Mrs. Bullard.
No, this isn't Mrs. Bullard. Mrs. Bullard's over there in the far corner.
Oh.
Nobody's confused me with her before.
How do you do? Hi, nice to meet you.
Boy, that sounds like a good party, Fred.
Well, I'm glad you can make it, Gord. Just a short one. You don't want to pass out like you did the last time, eh? Oh, don't move, Jay. Don't move. What's this program?
It's called the Audubon Wildlife Theater.
Ha 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 ha! Winched him off again. Ha 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 ha! Hurry up, Doug.
There's a lot of wildlife. Blip, 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 blip.
It's a very crummy skunk. You wouldn't, would you?
Now, where go? I'm going to try and grab you. What happens to me when I get close? You're kidding. Bubblegum. Scotch. Yeah.
Jay. Nice to have met you.
Nice
See you again.
Nice talking to you. Take it easy.
See you in the park.
I hope so. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
It's got to be better than that.
Going with my wife. Oh, sure. Oh, come on. No, this has been going on all night. Come on, what's going on? No. No. Come here. Do you want me to go and see the picture, too? Oh, sure, I'll bet.
And it took my administration to get things moving ahead in this session.
That may be, Congressman. However, it took my party to bring a sound fiscal policy to this state.
Gentlemen, please. All I know is it took Schlitz to bring the taste to life.
Introducing Schlitz Light Beer. Less filling and 1/3 fewer calories than our regular beer, but all the taste you'd expect from Schlitz.
It took Schlitz to bring the taste to life.
Gentlemen, it takes a good head for politics.
Because so many Americans think getting drunk is fun, we thought you might like to join us in the National Drinking Game. Just answer yes or no to the following 10 questions. Do you talk a lot about drinking?
Only when I'm awake.
Do you drink more than you used to?
I try
Do you gulp your drinks?
to. Only out of a glass.
Do you often take a drink to feel better? Do you drink alone?
Only if I'm stuck.
Do you ever forget what you did while you were drinking? Do you keep a bottle hidden somewhere for quick pick-me-ups?
How does he know?
Do you sometimes start drinking without really thinking about it?
Sometimes.
Do you need a drink to have fun?
I do now.
Do you ever take a drink in the morning to relieve a hangover?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. If you had 4 or more yes answers, then you may be one of over 9 million Americans with a drinking problem.
And we're back. So I tacked on the end of that film, I believe it's a beer commercial and then the national drinking test. This is part of a show I did called Drinky Drink. And so I tacked those on. So Curious Habits of Man is a very curious film. It's in the first batch of films I got a long time ago that kind of started me on this journey. Wow, my hair's kind of crazy. It's okay. I'm kind of on vacation, so. And my assistant chided me via email and said, "Why are you doing this? You should be vacationing." And I'll be honest, I love doing this. I absolutely love showing these films to you guys. And the fact that I can do it at this remote location makes me giddy. You know, I am truly an AV geek. I love the idea that I can set up at the beach and do something related. Actually, so the show that I had planned is a show about vacations and beaches, and I'll just kind of keep that one handy in case I lose power somewhere, or we'll have 2 shows set up so that at any time I can show them. All right, so this next film we're going to watch is it was part of a series called Most Important Person, and purportedly this was shown during Captain Kangaroo. Captain Kangaroo would occasionally show different segments from other things, like the Simon and the his magic chalkboard wall. I don't know if you remember that. But this particular film is it's not fun being angry. So it's true, it's not fun being angry. I can speak from experience.
The most important person in the whole wide world is you, and you hardly even know you. The most important person in the whole wide world is you. Come on, we'll show you. Let's find out more about the things you feel and do, 'cause you're the most important person in the world to you.
That's it. That's the last straw. Absolutely the last straw.
What is it, Bird?
I just never thought that. The last straw. The last straw.
He sure is angry.
Angry? Did I hear you say angry? I'm more than that. I'm furious.
It's all right to be angry, Bird.
It is, huh?
Sure, everybody gets angry sometimes.
So what do you do about it? I tried punching a pillow. I squeezed on clay. I drew an angry picture.
Sometimes it helps to talk about it. What are you angry about?
Look, the last straw. Somebody came and took all my straw. I was going to build a new nest. Now what have I got? One piece of straw.
Who do you think did it?
I have a pretty good idea.
Well, hi there, friends. I bet you're all admiring what I've done. Cleaned up the whole yard. Isn't it beautiful?
Why, you bragging about it, too. You're terrible. You're not my friend. I'm going to hit you until you go home crying.
Wait a minute. What is this? Hey, hold on now.
Talk about your anger, Bird.
What's fighting going to solve? Think that and that and that.
All right, Bird. I'm going to get angry, too. That's the last straw.
You see, he admitted it. You're a super baddie.
Talk to each other, please.
Tell him why you're angry. You took my straw, that's why, and you know it.
That was your straw I picked up?
You knew it.
Laying all over the yard? I thought it was only a mess. Gee, Bird, you must be angry.
He was going to build a new nest.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. If somebody would have told me...
I guess I could have told you first, or asked you, before I beat you up.
Little Bird, sometimes words can anger people.
All right, I didn't beat you up. I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry I threw your straw away.
Why don't we all help Bird find new straw?
Great idea.
Please, there are some things a bird must do for himself.
Bird, you better not do that. It's not yours.
Somebody'll get angry.
Shoo, you nasty little bird. Shoo.
I beg your pardon?
What do you mean by pecking at my pillow? You get me so angry. Shoo, shoo, shoo.
I'm sorry, lady. Honestly, I didn't realize this pillow was so important to you.
Shoo.
I'm a friendly bird. How about a little frog?
Well, buddy, now you know how it feels.
She sure was angry. I tried to talk with her about it.
You even tried to say you're sorry. We heard.
Sometimes talking just doesn't work.
But you honestly tried, and that's important, too.
You know, being angry is no fun. I'm sure glad I'm not angry anymore. But tired. I'm very tired. And when you're tired, the best thing to do
is... Did he say rest?
The most important person. Oh, sorry. I have hundreds of windows open right now on a little tiny laptop screen. So there we are. And hopefully I haven't lost us. Ah, shoot. Sorry. Yeah, I literally have this little tiny laptop environment to work with, and I might have accidentally killed the stream temporarily. So I'm hoping that I'm back. So this next film is a Centron film, and it is something that I wish I had seen as a kid, so that it would have stuck in my head. But this is Why Budget?
Everywhere we go in this land of ours, we see people, old people, young people, people of all descriptions. There are many different kinds of people. Each person has different interests, different desires, yet there is one thing nearly all have in common, something which all share. What could it be? What could J.D. Perry, president of the First National Bank, wealthy and influential citizen of his community, share with Joe Clark, day laborer? Or what could Joe Clark have in common with Betty Wilson, pretty young stenographer? In what respect are these three alike? Just this: they all want things that money can buy. Take Betty, for example. She wants lots of things that money buys. But Betty is like most people. There's one thing that she wants more than anything else. Betty wants a new fur coat. She knows that the coat she wants is very expensive, but she can't help dreaming about it. J.D. wants something too, for not even he has money enough to buy everything he wants. J.D. has in mind a small airplane, one he could pilot himself, which he could use for both business and pleasure. Joe Clark has a different desire. What he wants is to be able to send his son to college. Of course, Joe wants a lot of other things too, but educating his son is his great ambition. Most people want some things more than they want others. Is there anything that will help them to get the things they want most? The answer is a budget. But how can a budget do this? Is it magic? First, just what is a budget? A budget is a plan for spending designed to give the maximum satisfaction for a given income. J.D. Perry is budgeting so that he can buy that airplane. He has several incomes and many expenditures, so his budget is written on paper, but that is not necessary for everyone. Right here is Betty Wilson's budget, all in her head. Her income is the same every month, and her expenditures are simple, so she doesn't keep a formal written budget. Hers is an informal mental budget. Her only writing may be keeping her checkbook stubs. That doesn't mean her budget is not a good one. It is every bit as good for her as J.D. Perry's written, complicated form is for him. But how can a budget accomplish this maximum satisfaction? Let's see what happened to Mr. Perry when a car salesman took him in to see the latest model. J.D.'s car is 2 years old, and it's nothing like this gleaming beauty. J.D. was tempted. But wise man that he is, Mr. Perry told the salesman that he'd have to think it over. When he got home that night, he consulted his plan for spending. He found that if he bought the car, he'd have to postpone buying the airplane. The airplane was what J.D. had decided he really wanted, so he decided not to buy the car. His budget made him realize that he couldn't have both right away. His budget helped him steer a straighter course toward his goal. Recently, Betty Wilson and a friend found themselves going to the drugstore almost every evening for sodas. Betty loves chocolate sodas. But one evening she counted the cost for a whole year. She was amazed. She found that even though one soda costs very little, her sodas for a whole year cost more than she had thought possible. Now Betty must decide whether to go on drinking sodas or have her coat a little sooner. The budget will not decide this for her, but will show her that she must make the choice. The budget helps people to buy what they really want instead of spending money on lesser desires. Joe has a different problem. Remember, Joe doesn't make much money, and what he does make has to go a long way. He's saving for that boy's college education. Should he buy the new roller skates the boy wants so much? Joe decides that if he and Mrs. Clark stay home from 2 movies their budget has already provided for, they can buy the skates. Joe and his wife know that buying the skates will not reduce their savings. That's another good thing about a budget. People know where their money is going. They need not feel guilty about buying worthwhile articles. There's another way in which a budget helps, too. Betty Wilson knows that there is a way for her to buy her fur coat tomorrow if she wants to. She could buy it on the installment plan, but Betty knows that this means paying interest and carrying charges. She knows that a $200 coat could easily cost much more when bought on the installment plan. So Betty decides to save ahead for her coat. Her spending plan, her budget, has encouraged her to avoid the extra costs of buying on time. So each month she adds to her fur coat fund. A good budget helps people in several ways. But what is a good budget? A good budget is a family affair. Joe Clark found that his wife had a lot of valuable ideas and was fully as interested in the family finances as he was. Your budget must be simple as you can possibly make it. If it isn't, you're likely to give up and discard the family budget entirely. Your budget must be elastic. It must be able to accommodate the changing conditions of your life. For example, one night a young man called on Mr. Perry, asked him to invest some money in a new business. After looking at the figures, J.D. decided the opportunity was too good to pass up, so he accepted the young man's proposition. His budget needed a little revision, but it was elastic enough to accommodate a change in plan. A good budget must be realistic. It must leave a margin of safety for possible illness or other emergency. It must leave a margin for impulse buying, of which almost everyone is guilty at times. No matter how good your budget is, it can't help you if you don't stick to it. When the Clarks first started budgeting, Joe came home one night with a new shotgun. It cost a lot of money, money which was not included in the budget. At the end of the month, Joe got a letter from the landlord. He had to sell the shotgun in order to pay the rent. If Joe had consulted his budget, he would have discovered that he could not afford the gun at that time. Joe learned that his budget could help him only if he let it help him, only if he was willing to stick to it. No, a budget is not magic. It cannot give you everything you want, but it can, if properly used, help you to reject the things that will not give you the greatest satisfaction. It can help you to recognize your everyday extravagances. It can help you to know where you stand, what you can afford, and what you can't. It encourages you to save ahead instead of mortgaging your future income. Whether you want an airplane, as J.D. Perry did, a new fur coat, as Betty Wilson wanted, or a college education, as Joe Clark wanted for his son, you're more likely to get what you want if you plan your spending, if you use a budget.
Yeah, so that was kind of dry, but it's fascinating to kind of look at what the film is talking about, and to think about, like, in my school career, like, I never was given any of this information. I was on a college track when I was in high school, which meant that I took 2 years of French, which were completely wasted. I took a lot of math and science, advanced placement courses, and didn't take any, like, there was consumer math, and I didn't take it. I took, basic, I took algebra and calculus, and I could have used some consumer math. Likewise, this film would have been shown in home economics, and there's so many things in home economics that should just be required for anybody going to college, because I didn't know a lot of it, and I learned some of it, and some of it I still haven't learned. But you think about things like about nutrition. Home economics teaches that, how to sew. Oh my gosh, if I could learn how to sew with a sewing machine, oh boy, it'd be awesome. Finances, home finances, and then also interpersonal family dynamic stuff. All that stuff is super useful. And I think home ec, I really wish I had taken home ec. I also wish I had taken electronics too, given my current path. So that was Centron. Let me just say, I don't have my coffee cup with me, but thanks everybody for contributing to buying me a cup of coffee. That's a quick and easy way to caffeinate me and caffeinate AV Geeks. Because even on vacation, I gotta have my caffeine. And I love coffee, and what money you put towards it will go far, because I don't like expensive coffee. I like 8 o'clock coffee. I like not the absolute bottom of the barrel, but I like just a little bit above it. And I drink it black, and it's delicious. All right, so it seems like everything's kind of chugging along with some minor hiccups here and there, but we'll just keep going. Part of the challenge today was how to stop the things I had scheduled. I couldn't figure out how to get access to stop it, and I was concerned that we were going to be running 2 shows at the same time, which is just crazy. This next film is something that would be shown at a meeting, an office meeting, a management meeting, and it's intentionally funny, and it's trying to get across some points about communication and office dynamics. It's called Pissed.
This is the shape of your company's future. Around the country, around the clock, conglomerates are merging the private sector with the public interest to build a success-intensive tomorrow. Now, only one thing stands between you and a bold new age of management. Employee dysfunction. Conditioned to become an extension of the workplace, programmed to follow the trends of the marketplace, the worker unit grows unable to function in unstructured environments. He becomes confused, unresponsive, unproductive. But here, in the laboratories of our Center for the Study of Evaluation, research-intensive systems analysis has found the answer to unmotivated personnel. PIST, Psychological Improvement Situational Training, a new exercise program for human resource development. Our first stage is called Focal Rotational Positivistic Didactics, or 4Ps. In this exercise, 2 worker units enter a rhythm-intensive mode while rotating around an invisible but mutually acknowledged central reference point. 4Ps renews interpersonal awareness in the workstation while stimulating productivity through a rousing display of team spirit. The second stage of PIST is called Reciprocal Equalization Motion. This mode fuses individual and corporate identities, conforming operations management with attitude management. But the most achievement-intensive stage is also the simplest. Metronomic affirmation. It was designed by the head of Project PIST, Dr. M.C. Cartel.
Metronomic affirmation won't be fully understood for at least another 20 years. It is both a maximax and a minimax strategy in that it maximizes the maximum possible input and minimizes the minimum loss of output. It also maximizes the chances of incurring the minimum cost, which would classify it as maximum. The exercise quickly regenerates goal-oriented aggression. But the beauty of it is that it can be accessed by all units without interruption of their workflow. We are now also testing an equally cost-effective exercise, which I call primal reflexive pulsation. I believe that primal reflexive pulsation may have been the first direct means to expel early man's deepest, most repressed subconscious anxiety. And for corporate man, it will be the first direct means to optimize the Theory X and Theory Y management systems. The Theory X, of course, maintains that units basically do not like to work and must be activated by behavior modification. The Theory Y holds that all units have a natural desire to work and will activate themselves given behavior reinforcement. By interfacing X and Y with PIST, we create a new incentive: motivation through affiliation.
At work, at play, home. And on the rise, psychological improvement situational training is incentive intensive. PIST, a presentation of the Business Brain Trust. You can trust your brain to business.
That's pretty great. It's been a while since I've seen it, and you know, it's funny. It's silly. It's got that mid '80s feel that is kind of fun, and it definitely has a Monty Python feel to it. The silliness of it. Anyways, thank you, Tara, for buying me coffee. I should say that even though it says "buy me a coffee," I can spend that money on beer and pizza as well. I hope that's okay. And since I'm on my vacation, I will be purchasing some beer. So thanks. Thank you so much. Wow, where are we at? Wow, it's only... Cool. This next film is Mystery Crash. And we are shown some bits of information, and we were supposed to figure out what ultimately caused the crash. The automobile crash. And this is not a gory educational film, although I feel like this is made by Gene Starbecker, who made And Then It Happened and Death Zones. I could be wrong about that. It might be by his company, but there's no goriness here. There might be some intense suspense, but yeah, here's Mystery Crash.
Dr. Gibney. Dr. Sandy. Dr. Sweeney.
Mystery Crash takes 4. George Haywood, 24. Al Schroeder, 21. Fred Eckerd, 23. Joe Pulaski, 22. Chevy, 63. We know the ending, but how did it all begin?
Hey, Joe, the fire's ready.
Who's fire?
You're fired, Joe. I caught him, you cook him. Simple.
Oh, come on, man. I cleaned them. Al, you should cook them.
Hell, you guys gonna spoil a $10 buzz with a 10-cent fish fry?
You got a point. Toss me another one of those.
You got enough to last us till tomorrow? Only if we leave early.
Did you invite anybody to dinner?
Fred, did you invite anybody to dinner?
Al invited him to dinner.
I got a message for Al Schroeder.
You the guy from the marina?
Yep. Boy, I've been looking for you all day. And Ernie Johnson called and says his wife's in labor. You got to come back right away and take the Sunday afternoon shift for him.
Sunday? Did he say Sunday? That's tomorrow's Sunday.
Hey, I really hate to do this to you guys. But, well, you see, I've been promising Ernie for months that I'd take over for him when the baby came, and I really hate to drag you guys back a whole day early. Maybe I could get back without my car.
Oh, no sweat, man. Someday Ernie will do the same for you, huh?
How about that? Old Ernie's gonna be your daddy! Yeah! Ever!
Well, if we're gonna get you back in time, we better start now.
One thing I don't feel like doing is driving right now.
Looks like the beer's running out anyway.
What a time to have lost my license. Looks like I'm the only one in shape to drive.
Hey, don't worry. Look, a cup of coffee and I'm good for all night.
It may take all night, and then some. And those clouds are rolling in.
That's funny, those 4 beers really hit me.
4? A 6-pack you killed, and you didn't eat anything all day.
Forget it. None of us ate. We can get something when we stop for coffee. Damn. These wipers are just no good at all.
Pete's sake, slow down.
Don't slow down. We gotta get back for good old Ernie.
At least put your brights on.
Hey, these are the brights, man. That pothole we hit back there muddied them up. A nice car you got here, Al.
Down, Joe. You don't know this road.
Oh, man, there's nobody on this road this time of night.
And besides, I've never had an accident yet.
You never drove a rattle trap like this, either.
I resent that. A couple of new tires and it'd get you anywhere.
Damn these wipers. Hey, was that a curb sign?
It's a 50-foot drop down there. Is that lightning?
Jesus!
Watch out!
It's called the mystery crash because often no one is left to tell what really happened. We do not know the reasons for the one-car accident, the mystery crash, if indeed it has a single reason. We do know the ingredients: inclement weather, an unfamiliar road, an unfamiliar car, a vehicle in poor condition, a poor road, and one other ingredient, perhaps the most lethal one: alcohol. In this country, there are 122 million drivers. About 95 million adults 18 years of age or older drink alcoholic beverages. About 50,000 will die on the highways this year, and half of these deaths will involve alcohol in some form. True, the problem drinker is involved in many of those fatalities, but this may come as a surprise. The social drinker is a big part of the picture. The social drinker, gregarious, fun, dangerous. All the more so because he doesn't know he's dangerous. The brain is a computer, constantly receiving information through the senses, enabling you to make split-second decisions. Alcohol is a drug. It is absorbed into the bloodstream. The moment it reaches the brain, it short-circuits the computer. Judgment is impaired. Reflexes are slowed. Vision is reduced. Just enough to make the difference in a safe trip and an accident. All are factors which make it difficult to cope with the unexpected. And the driver is not aware just how dangerously his coordination is affected. The intoxicated driver is not aware of what is happening to him. Incidentally, alcoholic impairment is not an opinion. It is a legal fact, and there are machines that measure it. When a driver is arrested for driving while intoxicated, a police officer will ask him to take a breath test. The accused driver merely blows a sample of his breath into a disposable tube, which is connected to the breath testing machine. The machine measures and registers the percentage of alcohol in the blood. The result is the BAC, blood alcohol concentration. In all but 3 states, 1/10 of 1% or more blood alcohol concentration is legal evidence of intoxication. 1/10 of 1% means 1 drop of alcohol per 1,000 drops of blood. The calculation takes seconds. It is accurate. It is accepted in court. The machine only affirms in a technical way what the drinker, at this stage, is unable to tell himself. In general, most drinkers go through predictable stages as their blood alcohol concentration increases. At 1/100th of 1% blood alcohol concentration, the social drinker is hardly influenced, has normal actions. 1 beer produces the slightest effect. At 2 to 3/100ths of 1% blood alcohol concentration, the social drinker is elated, pleasant, more sociable. A couple of beers can put him there. At 5/100ths of 1%, the social drinker loses some of his inhibitions, is more given to impulsive behavior. 3 beers could get him to this plateau. At 0.08 or 0.09%, he's flirting with the legal danger point. The signs are beginning to show. At 1/10 of 1%, he is confused, staggering, and speech is slurred. 1 six-pack can put him over the 1/10 of 1% level. Now, let's go back to that 1 can of beer. Come on, you're saying. Just 1 can of beer? Well, it's a cold, sober fact. 1 12-ounce can of beer contains as much alcohol as 1 shot of 86 proof whiskey, and the effects are the same. The concentration of alcohol attained in the blood depends on the amount, obviously, you've had to drink, the time span of drinking, your body weight, and the amount and type of food in your stomach. Maybe you won't know your blood alcohol concentration, but you will know how many beers you've had. And this rule is easy to remember. 1 six-pack, don't drive back. At least not right away. Because the blood alcohol concentration cannot be lowered except through passage of time. Exercise, fresh air, cold showers, forget them. And the only thing black coffee can do is turn a sleepy drunk into a wide-awake one. How long should you wait to drive after drinking? In 1 hour, the alcohol in a single beer will be dissipated by the body. Generally allow 2 hours for 2 beers. And yes, more than 3 hours for 3 beers. Because for DWI, driving while under the influence, the penalties are severe. Conviction can mean jail for a year in some states and loss of your license. Legal fees, if you want to fight it, can mount up to $1,000 or more. Should you lose the fight or lose your driving privileges for a year, your auto insurance rates can double easily. Should your job, of course, require driving and your license is revoked, well, you're out of a job. Simple. In any case, DWI will cost. It could cost you your life. the social drinker. For all his gregariousness, he's a man of mystery, because in his unguarded moments, he's one of the very human ingredients in, yes, the mystery crash. The one type of accident over which the driver has complete control. The social drinker. He's the one type of guy who just may not know his limit. The social drinker. Everybody likes him. Immediately. Until they meet him on the road.
So that was actually Jack Lieb Productions and not Gene Starbecker. So that was not the same person who did those other And Then It Happened. He has done other films similar to this. Some quick thanks to Lisa and Justin for donating. I might buy some beer with that. And I just to prove that I'm on vacation, I'm eating Utz rippled sour cream and onion potato chips. And this is a seltzer, but it will transition into a beer later today. Anyways, so I wanted to show you at least one film that sums up my beach experience. So here's Me Too. I love that film so much. It just typifies the angst that I felt as a kid, and certainly feel every once in a while as an adult. Um, Really amazing film. And I do have a recollection as a child of working on an elaborate sandcastle, and for it to be destroyed by kids who were just running through and weren't paying attention, didn't care. So that's deep inside of me. But I probably won't be making a sandcastle, and when it stops raining and the sun goes down a little bit, I'm very photosensitive, having fair skin and freckles. So the sun needs to go down a little bit for me to lather up and go out into the beach and get into the ocean. But thankfully, I have some puzzles that will keep me and my wife occupied, and I'm gonna enjoy some potato chips and some seltzer. And thanks so much for tuning in. If you like what you saw, you can donate. You can go to avgeeks.com. There's lots of previous shows there and DVDs that you can purchase. And if you're on YouTube or Facebook, just hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow. How about that? Give that a shot. And if for some reason a hurricane hits us and we don't have power, then I have a backup ready. So everybody take care, and I will see you tomorrow.